before the reports of the invasion. UN Secretary.
Alrighty, y'all. I guess
Hear
you're
what
a
he
little
had
bit
to say.
early to be going live
So,
or going starting on the
indeed,
news and stuff like
the
that.
operation is being prepared. I have only one thing to say from the bottom of my heart. President Putin, stop your troops from attacking the Ukraine. Give peace a chance. Too many people have already died.
The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres there. Well, Stefan, in Washington, Ukraine has urged the UN to do whatever it can to stop the war.
Right now, I'm
the
just
UN do anything to stop
paying
this war?
attention to headlines coming in, where things are at over
Clear and
there.
simple, no. The UN cannot. The UN Security Council cannot. This is more bark than bite. It's always like this. The UN Security Council is a forum where those big powers, those 5 permanent members, are
First of all,
to discuss
you
and find
shouldn't be
solutions.
swinging.
And then you have
I'm
10
telling you guys right
non-permanent
now
members
that if you're
sitting in
losing
this
money,
UN Security
go
Council.
see
And
if you've been using
a few hours
weeklies.
ago, as you mentioned,
If
there
you're
was
using
Russia
weeklies
got its earful.
exclusively,
I mean,
that's
there was
probably why.
really almost nobody.
But I
not
would sell any
pointing
weekly
towards Russia and
positions
saying,
that I
like,
have immediately and take
President
direct
Putin
win.
and Russia is the sole aggressor here. And there was some emotional and quite rambunctious scenes when the Ukrainian ambassador really put almost like the pistol to the chest of the Russian ambassador, who
Yeah,
at the
Russia
UN,
has been
who
preparing
has
to do
right
this.
now the presidency, the chair of the UN Security Council, and saying,
What's
like,
up, guys?
okay,
We
come
are.
on, tell me,
If you guys
are
want to
you
know my
not,
positions, I'm going to go over my
bombarding now our
positions here
cities or sending
in just a
missiles
second.
into Odessa or
So you
Kiev
guys
or
can,
in other cities.
if you want,
This is
hit the link in the
war, isn't
bio.
it?
I'm
Say
live
it.
on YouTube right
Make
now.
a
We're going to
call
be trading
to
all day.
foreign minister, to your
Still working
boss,
with the small
Sergei
account,
Lavrov.
so
Of course, the
let's see what
Russian
happens.
ambassador to the UN did not
You
engage in
don't
any
look
of this.
happy.
He didn't call
Losing money
his
now.
boss,
The market's not open, and
Foreign
I just
Minister
woke up.
Lavrov.
And
And of course, he said,
you want better lighting
well,
on my face?
this is
Is that better?
just a special military
I'm sorry.
operation,
I don't
not a
look happy
war.
enough. I'm tired.
However, just
I'm a
hours
dad.
later, it looks a
children.
little bit different than just a
keep you up at
special
night.
military operation.
It's on my ball.
Okay, now the timing.
Small
Vladimir
account's still
Putin's
sitting around
address,
$2,400, so
was
pretty much the same
significant. It
same place that it
happened,
was
and this I'm sure
since
was
I
not a
started moving.
coincidence.
So,
it happened
which
at the same
makes a lot
time
of sense.
that this UN Security Council meeting was taking
But I
place.
imagine we're
What-
probably
what
going
do
to
you think
break
of that?
3K today, considering
Yeah, I
all
mean,
of the positions that I do have.
There we
So
leave,
right
the
now I have
grounds of facts and
eBay,
go into
which
speculation. Now,
is,
symbolic
if I'm
politics
not mistaken,
is and has opportunities
see,
like
where
this.
we
And,
at?
Vladimir Putin is a master of this kind of politicking,
nice.
of sending
We are at
messages,
49,
symbolic messages to his own
50
clientele, to his own
on
people,
eBay
to the
at
Russians, but also
$47
to the world.
puts.
So there is a chance
Baba,
that he really
I still have
timed that
those
very
$80
well to,
puts. I've
the
got
UN
$7 puts on
emergency,
Jamia.
UN
I've got
Security Council,
Piton,
meeting
$25
there, because
puts
he
that
knew
will
it's
be
4
in the
hours
money
that the,
today.
that the
I've
Ukrainians
got
had
Space
requested one.
$8
Of
puts that
course,
will be
but on
taking
the other
profit.
hand, to be
Snapchat,
also very
March
clear,
18th,
those
$33
decisions are
puts.
also made, and those
Max
speeches
R,
are
$20
held
puts.
when politicians or Mr. Putin in
I
this
even
case,
have a DWAC
are getting their
$65
feedback
put. So
from their
I am
military
completely
commanders
shorting
on
the
the
market
ground. So there's a little bit of
as
give and
much as I
take,
can.
and probably maybe both reasons entitled him or forced him to make this speech at the time. However, towards the speech, one thing I want to mention. The denazification of Ukraine. This was something, and of course also the stark warnings of Mr.
Yes,
Putin
I would
against
really
the West.
quite
This
prefer
was understood
to
by
see
the
Biden,
United States, by a lot of
Putin,
experts and military experts and observers here, very, very
probably
clearly. This made everybody
Ukraine
listen
and
that
all the Eastern
Vladimir
European
Putin
countries.
is,
Like, maybe start off with like some gladiatorial games,
democratically
but
elected government
finish
of
with
Ukraine to
some
be
actual,
Nazis.
let them do the war
The
stuff. So,
president
little late on
of
the train, but
Ukraine
unless you're
is actually
scouting.
Jewish.
So here's the
So
thing.
Americans and
If you're
American
thinking
ears, they
I'm
popped
about
up
to
here.
make money, I'm about to ride these puts to the downside, and you don't have
in American
positions,
circles here, in circles here in Washington.
people are
And the
going to
same
be
goes, of course,
taking
for
profit
the,
on a lot of
blatant,
positions.
threat against the West, not to
We are in
engage
store
any way
for
or form
some
militarily.
crazy volatility.
Stefan, thank you very
Are
much.
we
Now,
going to
Stefan
keep
Zima is our
going
correspondent
down?
there in
I
Washington.
think so. but I would like for you to go look at previous corrections,
You are watching
crashes,
DW News from Berlin.
and
This is a
notice
special
that
edition focusing on the Russian attack that is taking
they're,
place right now on
for the most
Ukraine.
part,
It appears
never,
to be a
ever
full-scale attack.
a
Russia
straight
has
line.
launched what
Even
it
the
calls a
March
military
crash
operation
with
in
COVID still
Ukraine.
had
It appears to be the start of a
recovery
new war
points
in
that
Europe.
were
U.S. President Joe Biden has
crazy, that would have
condemned what he
fooled
called
any
an
bull.
unjustified and unprovoked attack. Here in Germany, Chancellor Olaf Scholz said it was a terrible day for Ukraine and a dark day for Europe. President Vladimir Putin announced the move in a surprise TV address shortly before 6 a.m. Moscow time. He warned the world that any attempt to interfere would lead to, quote, consequences you have never seen. Ukraine says that Russia has launched a full-scale invasion of the country. Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia was attacking military infrastructure throughout the country and border guards. He urged citizens not to panic and said Ukraine would prevail.
Seems like a
Explosions
very
have been
solid
heard in
moment,
several
dude.
Ukrainian cities, including Kiev
Can I look at
and
Roku?
Kharkiv
Sure.
in
Yeah,
the
I can look
east.
at Roku.
While Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky
Hey, don't use
addressed
bad
his
words in here,
people with
Cheeto.
an emotive speech, here's what he had to say.
We don't say that.
Dear
What am I in right now?
This morning, President
deep shit.
Putin announced a special military operation in the Donbas. Russia carried out
I'm in
strikes
a
on
lot
our
of different
military
positions.
infrastructure.
I will
on
tell
our
you
border
though that
guards.
a lot of them are
Explosions
going to
were
be
heard
in the
many
money.
cities of Ukraine.
Um,
We are introducing martial law throughout the state. A minute ago, I had a conversation with President Biden. The US is
Snapchat
starting to gather
3475, guys. So we're set up.
Today we
Invested,
need
yes,
each
yes.
of you.
So we
Each of
will
you to
be
calm. If possible,
trading
stay at
live
home,
today.
please.
Where's
We
Baba
are
at?
working. The army is working. The entire security and defense sector of Ukraine is working. I, the National Security and Defense Council, the government will be in touch.
Oh, they're at
Soon I will be in
$100.
touch again.
Hmm.
Don't panic. We are strong.
I almost
We are
remember
ready
some
for everything.
weird
and we will
dude
defeat everyone.
giving it a
Because we are
$100 price
Ukraine.
tag yesterday.
Glory to Ukraine.
Can anybody recommend a commodity to buy? Uranium. No, I'm just kidding. Wheat.
Ukraine's
Oh, no.
President Volodymyr
Taiwan
Zelensky there
news.
addressing his country, telling them not to panic. Thomas Sparrow,
Taiwan
political
Defense Ministry
correspondent, is
says
with
that
me
Chinese
here in
Air
the
Force planes
studio.
entered
Thomas,
its
what
air
do you
defense
make
zone
of
on
what's,
Thursdays.
what we're hearing from Volodymyr Zelensky? He, of course, has been calling on Germany to provide more assistance in the lead up to this. Where do relations stand between Germany and Ukraine now that this conflict has begun?
And in fact, Zelensky and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz have just spoken on the phone.
Dude, every
The
time I
message we
see
heard
Team
there
Bull trading
from the
online,
German
I
government
just
was
think
that
to
they were
myself, like,
expressing
what
their
the
full
fuck?
solidarity
These people
towards
are complete
Ukraine, something
clowns.
that they have already expressed in the past as well. It's important really to mention that Germany has, through various means, official and not official ways, expressed that it's standing by Ukraine and is ready to assist in different ways. And when we look at assistance, that's where the key point here comes in, because Germany differs from other Ukrainian allies when it comes to the way in which it has assisted. So countries within NATO, for example, have decided to send defensive weapons to Ukraine. Germany has clearly stated on various occasions that it's not in a position to do that. They did, however, send 5,000 helmets to Ukraine, or at least they announced they were going to send those 5,000 helmets, which was a direct request by Kiev. That was already some time ago, and it was met with criticism by Ukrainian leaders, for example, the mayor in
Morning,
Kiev,
what's up, everybody?
Klitschko. So Germany's position
So
there
we're at
differs
$100
from
on
the
Baba,
position of
so
other
we're gonna be
NATO
up nice.
allies. Germany
I
has
think.
stressed on time and time again, they will probably do so in the next
But
few days
all
and in
of
the
your
next few weeks, is that
puts.
they're helping Ukraine mostly through economic ways. That Germany is one of the key economic helpers, if you will, of Ukraine in that sense, and that the key to increase that aid. We've also heard from the Ukrainian ambassador here in Berlin with a list of what he believes Germany should be doing, and he specifically stressed the need for defensive weapons. It's very unlikely that it's going to happen, but I do expect a debate within the German political parties to see whether that could be the case.
In all of this, of course, in the idea of delivering anything to the current Ukrainian government is predicated on the idea that that government will hold.
Absolutely.
The attack that is taking place right now from Russia is not going to displace the government that is currently there in Ukraine. That we don't end up with some sort of Moscow-controlled government in Kiev, which appears to be Vladimir Putin's goal. Just quickly, Thomas, many are concerned here in Germany, at least, about the gas supply now that this conflict has escalated to this point. We've already seen Germany suspend the certification of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline that was to bring gas directly from Russia to Germany. That would appear to be, as one commentator
All right,
described,
2 more minutes,
just
guys.
a
I'm going to go
shot
ahead
in
and
the
go
middle
over
of the
other
Baltic
news,
at this point.
other headlines.
Germany relies on, I think, more than half of its gas supplies from Russia. Europe as a whole gets 40% of its gas supplies from Russia. Could we end up seeing
Hey,
Europe cut
did
off
anybody
from Russian
swing
gas
space
supplies?
puts
Well,
with
that's
me?
certainly what German leaders are trying to avoid, what European leaders are trying to avoid it. At the same time, they're trying, obviously, to diversify their energy sources. You asked about what concerns Germans have in this regard, and it's important. There was a new poll which revealed that Germans
Standing
actually
by
want
for
those kinds of
a few
economic
economic
sanctions that
data
we are seeing
releases
imposed
here
on Russia.
coming up in
Yet
about
at the
1
same
minute
time,
at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. We'll be getting the preliminary reading on Q4 U.S. GDP. Economists are expecting a 7% quarter-over-quarter gain. We'll also be getting the weekly jobless and continuing claims figures. Economists are expecting initial jobless claims for last week around 235,000.
All right, y'all. Make sure to hit the like button on your screen. I'm going to go ahead
Ahead of those data
and
points,
grab
stocks
my
down nearly 3%, about
smoothie really quick
three
from
quarters of a
the
percent.
fridge,
S&P 500
and we're going to
futures
go ahead and
last
get
trading
started. So,
at 4107 and a half.
all right.
Initial jobless claims for last week coming in at 232,000. That was slightly lower than economists' estimate of 235,000 jobs.
Extra
GDP
Extra
coming in line
shit to
with
set on that
economists'
cake.
expectations at 7% growth. Again, that was the preliminary Q4 reading, 7% growth on a quarter-over-quarter basis. Continuing claims from a couple weeks ago coming in at 1.476 million jobs. Economists were looking for a reading about 1.58 million jobs, so better than expected, lower than expected jobless claims here for the last couple weeks. Stock's quiet here. I'm sure the news out of Russia and Ukraine is outweighing economic data for this morning.
What do you think? All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take over here. Let's see, where is this at? And get started with our news. Let me go ahead and tag everybody. Alrighty. So, as you guys can imagine, U.S. stock futures sank, mirroring a sharp sell-off in global equities after Russia launched its all-out invasion on Ukraine. Oil prices broke $100 a barrel for the first time since 2014 on concerns of disruptions to global energy supply. Russian ruble tumbled to a record low, and the European currencies, including the Europe, bore the brunt of the selling, sparking dramatic moves across foreign exchange markets. Gold prices surged as investors sought safe havens. Second estimate of GDP and weekless jobless claims are due for release later in the day. Yeah, I can see SPY. I mean, we just need a reason. But So anyway, we did see, in fact, Russia did invade in what we could consider the darkest hour since World War II. And one of the it says Russian forces has invaded Ukraine by land, air, and sea, and one of the biggest attacks by one state against another in Europe since World War II. Chip makers see limited impact for now as Russia invades Ukraine. Large chip companies said that they are expected limited supply chain disruption from now from the Ukraine-Russia product thanks to raw material stockpiling and diversified procurement. But some industry sources said there could be a bigger impact long term. So, more. Sorry about that. Hold on one second. All right. Anyway, so White House is unveiling more steps to strengthen the U.S. supply chains. They have announced 10 steps as part of its year-long drive to strengthen the U.S. supply chains against climate shocks and geopolitical tensions and ensure that China and others cannot weaponize supply chains against the United States. Fed hawks or agree on liftoff. What happens Fed hawks, doves agree to liftoff, which happens to be obviously the next battle. U.S. Federal Reserves agree inflation is too high and that interest rates should be increased as the upcoming meeting in March. Tesla plans new Shanghai plant to more than double China's capacity. So that's coming up. Our little news coming out of Tesla there. I don't really think that's going to do much. eBay had earnings, which we played for this year. Earnings, the e-commerce platform tackled waning online demand, stiff competition, and global supply chain disruptions. So, alrighty. So, as far as my watch list is concerned, Apple is on there, but unfortunately at this point, it's got a huge gap. I could see this one falling and hitting around 150, 150. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I know that there's gonna be a lot, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't like the reason why it's happening, but I'm also gonna be taking a lot of profit. These are the times where it's hard to observe while you're in it. And while I'm trading today, obviously I'm going to be taking breaks here and there, but I'm going to be primarily focused on finding high probability setups. And that's going to be a challenge because obviously there are setups. But with war and with these type of headlines, it can drive volatility in the opposite direction very, very quickly. And that is something that those of you guys who played March, the COVID dump with us, you likely remember. Because those type of events happened all the time where you would continue to fall and one single headline would send you hurtling to the upside, losing money quicker than you can imagine. So I don't underestimate it. Hey, what's up, man? No, no muted today. It's good to get it out though. You don't want to be carrying that burden with you. That's why I do it. um, but anyway, y'all, I've got space on watch. I did swing puts. I'm gonna take profit on. I do have Baba. I'm gonna take profit on it. I have eBay profit, Piton profit. So Jamia profit. I'm gonna be taking profit on a lot. Snapchat profit. So I'm gonna be primarily focused on taking profit and then finding key levels and then paying attention to the data and news articles coming from that area. As you can see, the economic data that we had come in didn't really do much of anything, probably because one news headline's trumping the other in this case. So for me, looking at, and I'll just do this really quickly. For me, looking at SPY and looking at the level that we're at, it seems inevitable that we're going to see 405. And it also seems pretty inevitable that we're going to fill this gap. And there's a gap on SPY to 401.22, which will likely bring you down to the $400 supply zone. So I think everybody's target is down. And that's why sometimes I feel there could be a short jolt up. I don't know about a gap fill. That's a large gap on SPY. So I think when it does fill, it's gonna catch some people by surprise. But this is a gap in which we could continue to flush from here. So man, how quick is question mark? There we go. Anyway, that's it for me. Manny, if you would like to talk about your setup for today, what you will be watching, and how Russia has personally hurt you.
It's crazy, bro.
Well, last night was insane. I almost opened up a brokerage.
You should have. You would have gotten something in like 30 minutes. Literally, your account would. Not even that. You just told me I would have sent you the crypto real quick and went for funding, or I could have just given you one of my accounts. But
They're gonna blow it.
you know, like talking about it, I know there's been a lot of people talking because it's even happening on my Instagram. That's about everything that all stuff happening, like money out of this, and I get it. I'm not happy about making money out of this. I'm not. But I'm a day trader. If I see a setup, I'm gonna take it. This is not about me being happy that the war started. Anything that was said before, and if you've been here for a while, you guys know that it was a joke. Nobody wants the war to happen. Now,
Yeah.
I'm taking advantage of the trades happening. It's my job. Day trade. I'd be dumb not to. So the main thing I wanted to say before going into the session, you gotta do whatever you think is gonna affect your morals. If this is gonna affect your morals, right? Just don't trade today. And don't trade in general to all of the stocks.
I was gonna say emotions. You don't want to be emotional about this stuff.
There's some people that this will affect them psychologically, and I get it. It's really, really bad. But like Jack just said, we all know the war is just a business. It's sad that people die, but that's the outcome of it. That it's happening and this and whatnot. We can't control this. I'm not a politician. Neither are you, neither is the other guy. We're literally only day traders. So don't let this demoralize you. You're just making a trade. It's sad. I get it. It's super sad. And we are beyond privileged to be in this country versus what's happening across the world. So I get it. I'm with it 100%. I came to this country when I was 5 years old. But this is not meant to demoralize you. This is just time for you to make a trade. That's the first thing. The second thing, oh my God, we were going so much fucking lower. Listen, I have been calling this drop since I started my YouTube channel, so please let me be. The VIX is starting to spike, so obviously now there's panic happening. I mean, why wouldn't there be panic? VIX, I think it is going to go to 40, like Roman's target has been. Roman's target was actually the end of March. So he's a month ahead. So those contracts are way juiced up. That's the first thing. Gold, Garen, have you seen gold?
I have, yes. Yeah. I also am really I've got like indigestion because that 350 put that we were talking about to each other, and I bought, and it's in my TD Ameritrade. I don't even look at it because I don't look at that app very often. I looked at it last night, up 450 something percent. I imagine I'll be up like a lot more. So I don't know. I think I might just hold it till I send the money, dude. Do you remember both Manny and I both saw those puts, and when we saw the OI, we were like, okay, someone's targeting this to the downside for sure. So I love the new house, at least in terms of not being a 200-year-old house that like the doors shut by themselves and stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah. So another thing, Fletcher just said it, but Leon said it earlier. So now there is Chinese Air Force over Taiwan's airspace. So now things are getting even more hot, right? So what I want to say is, if you think this is the bottom, it's not. Whenever you think the bottom is, it's not. Just I'm gonna start that off to get that bias out of you. We are in a in a red market. I'm not gonna call it a bear market because then I don't want people saying, "Oh, well, bear market, I don't know, 20%. Doesn't matter. We're in a red market. The trend is obviously red. Any buys are all temporary, way temporary. They're not gonna have follow through. They're gonna literally lose steam. They're all called liquidity runs. You guys know how market makers hedge the puts that they're selling. I have been saying it. They need to buy the security, the index, whatever it is. So the green is them buying. That's it. So with that being said, I do still think today is going to be a red day. If it's not a red day, obviously it's going to be chopped by how much we drop. But I have seen things gap like this and keep dropping. So let's just see where this reaction is going to be. Yeah, we have some nice floor bases being put in now. 318 for the Qs. Size floor is about 411 to 410. So obviously there's going to be a support we need to build on, but we're not going to, short a support. We're going to wait for that retest of whatever highs we can get a chance on. For SPY, I would say 416 around there. For the Qs, I'd say 324, 328, if anything. Individual equity names. I saw Tesla. Tesla is getting to my buy zone. Dude, are you buying here or not?
Nah,
Bro,
it goes
one
lower.
thing I'm gonna tell you, Fat Biker, this is bear traps don't exist anymore. This is a bear market. And if anything, the green will be a bull trap. Yeah, this buyer's gonna get run over. Exactly what Brody said. So you're not buying yet, bro?
Buy what?
Tesla?
Tesla? I'm not buying Tesla until it's 500.
I was looking around the 600 mark. But,
Yeah. 500, 450, somewhere in that range.
I'm still holding some long terms. I'm still holding flow. Like
I think they were trading Indo yesterday, but I'm not. I should have taken that Russian short that I wanted to take. But
against what?
huh?
Against what? Like, what do you mean Russian short?
Like ozone, stuff like that.
Oh, the companies.
Yeah.
Right. Wasn't there a company that was a Russian like Amazon?
Yeah, that's ozone.
Oh, there you go. I remember you talking about that a while ago.
Yeah.
The African Amazon. How are they doing?
Dead.
Are they crying yet?
They're basically just they don't exist anymore. Or company.
Yeah. So, well, we're looking at futures now. The base is still being held nice. This is sorry, I'm interrupting something. The base is being put in nice, so that's good to see.
Energy is up right now. A lot of commodities are up. Think about things that are going to get more expensive because Russia's throwing a hissy fit.
Wheat is one of them.
Yeah, wheat, corn. That's good. Corn probably is moving.
Russia foreign minister says Russia will always be ready for dialogue that would return U.S. to justice and principle of the UN. The dialogue is that they close the doors to Ukraine. That's all it is. But the open door policy of NATO is going to make that very difficult.
Yeah. Does this mean we can't afford to bulk buy all the Oculuses anymore? Yeah, actually, the Oculus giveaway, we're just giving away a Samsung phone and a box. Sounds good. Meta, you said?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That is insane, man. Apple is down from 160 yesterday where I took it to 153.74, dude.
No, dude, listen, that you saw the averages that I had last night? You saw the screenshot?
Yeah.
Dude, I was in right before the drop. I was so proud of that, but at the same time, I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta keep this money.
Yeah, right.
I literally told myself at some point, I was, oh, this is all bullshit, and we're gonna break right back up. And then I started. I don't know if you follow Eyeless's News on Instagram, where you know who he is. He posts like pretty straightforward shit. He's a journalist. And when I was in the train, I started seeing missiles reported, explosions reported, and that's the only reason I held. And then that news came into open markets, and that's when it dropped even harder. And then I set my TP, it TP'd, and then the Dow dropped 300 more points. So
I
that stuff.
I would be prepared. That's dope though that you caught that move, dude. What the fuck?
It will.
So so Russia is also a huge importer of fertilizer, which is an important part of our farming industry. We use a lot of it, and that's probably going to be an issue, which is going to cause food prices to go up. Dan, what are you doing? Trying to hack the server? Dem's over here putting in codes. See, I haven't heard from Dem in like 3 months. She's probably just become the stock market now.
Yeah, definitely.
She's just hacking us now, absorbing us. I'm just kidding.
We're doing well with that. I hope this market is treating you nice.
I hope your shorts are shorting. Look at Apple. Man. Good. Yeah, and nobody's shorting simple stacks. How is cybersecurity holding up? I'm unhacked.
Yeah, yes, gotta remember the U.S. is, and I quote, the world police.
Think I guess I got over not wanting to short. Yeah, man. Now every time I see a red candle, I'm like, is Tim there? It's Tim just creeping around the corner, shorting it.
Listen, in my opinion, short selling is better than buying now. I will say this over and over. I would say the only thing that you can trade that is good to the upside as it is the downside is gold.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this from experience. I have been squeezed short on gold, and I have been squeezed long on gold. It is PTSD type of shit. That's why I don't even want to trade gold anymore. I barely even touch it. I only trade it now because it's an obvious crazy bull trend.
Do we just go straight to threatening nukes, like immediately?
You don't know everybody. Like I'm glad you said that. Everybody has to gotta watch their mouth now.
Why?
Any threats of like nuclear shit, like that's poking the bear, bro.
Yeah, so when you're thinking about things that can cause a stock market crash, that would cause a stock market crash. Any nuclear, if a button got pressed, I'm sorry, but first of all, even if it was just a warning shot, which well, there when it comes to weapons that can wipe out an entire state, there is, and they will bomb the middle of the ocean near Georgia or some shit just to fucking send a message and be like, "Hey, we could just wipe your shit out." Yeah, Putin could fat finger the ask and send us a bunch of bids. I personally, obviously, when it comes to crashes and stuff, it's world-ending events. It's things that cause people to have an irrational sense of fear, right? Putin or Biden having a little heart attack or something like that, like that market might jolt down for a second, but it'll be all right. Market come back. A nuke or anything damning like that, biological warfare, um, anthrax being unfrozen from the Arctic. No, just kidding. But no, seriously, those are the type of things that cause. So when you're thinking about like bear market correction and a crash, you have to think about like the implications of all of them. So I'm still holding a ton of UVXY. You are a madman. Chill and Charlie, game over. Yep. I'm buying the open for a small bounce. I'm going to watch the open. Poker with Putin would be fun. I don't think that he would have fun, and therefore you would probably lose. Because usually the person who's having the least amount of fun, well, I guess at the end of it's losing, but Usually people with that flat face look like they're having the worst time. They wear the weird sunglasses.
This country. It's a very wrong thing. You are not defending Russia, simply defending an aggressor.
There are so many people on both sides of the border with
Putin
family and
mentions
friends
making
in
historical
Ukraine, in Russia.
decisions if we interfere.
A very pertinent message there from Latvia's Defense Minister Artis Papriks. Thank you very much for being on the show.
One thing I also want to say, VIX high, I always say this.
And I'm here with DW's Chief International Editor, Richard Walker. Richard, a lot happening as we've been reporting. Talk us through what we know at this moment.
Well, as we've been hearing from our reporters on the ground, I mean, what we are witnessing is pretty much the worst-case scenario, which the Americans in particular have been warning of with greater and greater urgency in recent weeks, that Vladimir Putin, with this recognition of these separatist regions in eastern Ukraine earlier this week, that he wasn't going to stop there, that was actually the prelude to something much, much larger, and it does seem to be all-out total invasion of Ukraine, with the goal, as Putin said himself in his address overnight, the demilitarization and denazification of Ukraine, and press for bringing to justice those who have committed numerous bloody crimes. That is a signal that his goal is to remove the government, to install presumably a government that he favors. He said that it is not his goal, it's not his objective to remain in Ukraine in the long term. But he also has said in the past, in recent weeks, that his goal is not to invade Ukraine. So it's not at all clear whether we can take that at face value. And this notion of demilitarization and denazification of Ukraine, it frames Ukraine as a threat to Russia, which is a pretty hard case to make if you look at the objective facts. And denazification of Ukraine also, this is Putin's position has essentially been that Ukraine has been taken over by illegitimate nationalists and Nazis. If you look at Volodymyr Zelensky, he's a democratically elected leader who happens also to be Jewish, who lost ancestors in the Holocaust. So there is an offensive element to what he said there. But if we take that as what Putin is now saying to his people on this day, that's what we're looking at. This is total war aimed at regime change, essentially, toppling the government.
That said, what do you see happening in the coming hours? Do you expect Ukraine to launch a counteroffensive?
Well, Ukraine is already saying that it's fighting back, but it is, of course, it will be able to inflict some casualties, and it is claiming already to have shot down a number of Russian planes. But the Ukrainian army simply, and the Ukrainian military, is not a match for the force that we've seen assembled here by Vladimir Putin. This is what lay behind the warnings that we've seen in recent weeks, is the scale of this force, the number of battalions that Vladimir Putin has moved to the north, to the east, to the south, completely surrounding Ukraine on three sides. So it is doubtful that the Ukrainians will be able to stand up to this onslaught for very long. So then it becomes a question, essentially, of what happens next. Looking at this from the outside world, the Western world has obviously done as much as it felt it could do to deter this from taking place, with threatening sanctions, and already imposing some sanctions after the recognition of these regions early in the week.
But also by bringing in troops themselves to neighboring countries.
That's true. So, but of course, that's another level. That's not going to protect Ukraine. That's about protecting countries like Latvia. And it was very interesting, of course, and compelling to hear the defense minister of Latvia just now speaking to us. Those countries are the front line of NATO defenses. Ukraine is not going to receive any Western troops to defend it. So it's, in military terms, it's standing alone. It has received a certain amount of weapons in recent weeks from Western countries, not including Germany, and that's caused a lot of discussion about Germany's responsibilities. But in terms of actual troops on the ground, that's not going to happen. Joe Biden's been very clear about that, and of course that would present the risk of a confrontation directly between the two superpowers, the US and Russia, and that could lead to a very even more serious war, obviously.
On the topic of Germany, we saw Germany come to the table as far as sanctions go and really pull out that big card with the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, putting that on hold, that project, which will hurt both sides, but really hurt Russia financially. But as far as helping out on the weapons front, do you expect that topic to be raised here in Germany today?
Well, certainly that debate is not going away. I mean, Olaf Scholz, the German Chancellor, has been doing the rounds of television interviews this week, explaining the moves since the recognition of those regions. We're also expecting to hear from him in about an hour, I think, so it'd be interesting to
Hold
see
on
what
one
he
second,
says
y'all.
then.
Give me 1 second.
So far, he's very much stuck to his line that providing weapons is not what Germany wants to do. And there are various arguments that he uses to back that up. But just this morning, a very senior member of the Green Party was calling for Germany to go further. The Green Party has generally been more hawkish in the course of this crisis so far. It has had a long-standing, very critical view of Russia, the direction that Russia has been going in. And there are various voices around other political parties also calling for weapons to be supplied. I would assume that the government is going to stay with this line. The reality is that supplying weapons to Ukraine at this point is unlikely to change the situation on the ground. In effect, weapon supplies, if weapon supplies were going to achieve anything, it would have been more as a deterrent effect to try to make it clear to Vladimir Putin that he couldn't just walk in and take Ukraine easily. And it's obviously too late for that now. But there is a really intense debate beginning in Germany, really since the beginning of this week, when Vladimir Putin announced his recognition of these leaders, about whether Germany's whole attitude to Russia in recent decades, and especially since the annexation of Crimea in 2014, has simply been completely wrong-headed, based on wishful thinking that Russia was a country that could be engaged with, that Russia was a country that could be kind of coaxed into a more democratic and liberal and peaceful attitude to the world. And I'd like to draw attention to one really extraordinary intervention by the chief of the German army, writing on his LinkedIn page just a couple of hours ago, absolutely condemning what he sees as a lack of investment in the military, saying that he's fed up, that the army is essentially standing empty-handed when looking at the options that it could provide to supporting other members of the NATO alliance, for instance, supporting Latvia and other countries that are now feeling a greater threat. So a really extraordinary outburst there by the head of the German army, indicating that he views that Germany and German politics have simply underestimated the threat from Russia for many years.
DW's Chief International Editor Richard Walker, thank you very much for the analysis.
For the Qs 323.
The UN Security Council has ended its emergency session in New York.
Remember, guys, when you see gaps like this on the hourly, draw your fibs from the previous day, right? Including pre-market high into today's pre-market low, and you'll have your range. I'm going to send you a screenshot of my Tesla range. All right, so you guys see, this is my Tesla chart right now, right? You guys see how the 10-day is at 730 more or less, so around that 36 level of 727. So when we have a rejection at that level of the fibs, right? The 23 to be exact, this means that there's more continuation, whether it be a bounce or a rejection. So obviously a rejection, more continuation down. A bounce, more continuation up. So if we reject there, then that means we're going to head down. The second possible rejection level is that 750 level right there, which would indicate a gap fill and not a continued move down. Thank you for the thought.
That's useless. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Heavy duty.
So that's for Tesla.
Make Russia great again. Well, I think that Russia was great when they weren't Russia. They were the USSR. You know, I think that was like the peak Russia right there.
So that's my Tesla chart. I'm going to drive for any other charts.
You know what I think they're going to try and do is basically make those territories that are in Ukraine. I think that Russia's going to push for them to leave them out.
Yep.
And I mean, as far as I know, and I don't mean this in any like I'm taking a side or I mean like I'm just saying what I know. The Donbass, I believe, has been under pressure, even as far as bombing, for like 4 years from Ukraine. And those are Russian-speaking people.
The rebels.
Right. Well, yeah, quote unquote rebels because they're separatists. But so I mean, right? Yeah. But I think that's they used that as a catalyst point, and I'm sure they're going to be like, yeah, we want to talk while still doing exactly what the fuck they want. So, oh shit, man.
There's always two. And again, please don't take me as picking one side. I really don't care about what's happening. But there's always two sides of the story anymore. There's always two sides of the story and everything, right? So listen, do I see Tesla dropping under 600 unless the market crashes? Absolutely not. I think Tesla, if we get some crazy selling, we'll maybe see 650 and then it's just stay in range. I think a lot of the moves happen overnight, and I don't want to say this, but part of me also thinks that. Okay, so how do you hedge your risk? You hedge your risk by buying the underlying that you're setting puts on. If you can't buy overnight because the market was just being volatile and you weren't ready for this, ideally you would find the next open session, which would be the US session. It's where there is the most liquidity. So if we see some crazy whipsaw up and then down, I would not be surprised, which is why I keep saying I think I'm going to chop today.
Yeah, I mean, they could say, sorry, go ahead, Manny. I apologize.
No, it's just I'm like the next thing is market makers need to hedge themselves. It's part of how it is. And the firm loses, then shit gets even worse.
Right.
Remember, these guys their job is to give liquidity. Their job is not to I'm gonna say trade. They're just supposed to give liquidity. So imagine when they're up against the wall and they have to hedge themselves. They're gonna do whatever they have to do, even if they mean disrupting the market.
And today, one thing to keep in mind, guys, is that headline talking about how Russia would we be willing to talk. All it takes is for Russia fighting quiets down as talks between Russian and Ukrainian or NATO leaders are taking place, and that would the market and Top Shelf said it best is forward thinking. It is trying to be a positive entity while still being an incredibly anxiety ridden one. But it's going to be thinking, okay, well, if we're talking, maybe there's no war, and maybe if there's no war, maybe I can buy the dip. So, but that's a bit of an oversimplification, but that is so, and I think another thing is puts are going to be SPY puts are going to be extremely expensive, way more than average. So if you have SPY puts or you swung any SPY QQQ positions, yeah, you're gonna be banking.
All right, come on. Seriously, if you're up 6,000%, like Garrett is gonna be at the open. Don't be that person. All right. if the market's gonna keep falling, you're gonna get a second entry. Just take your money. Go drink margaritas by the beach. Go do something. Take your kids to Disneyland. Go on vacation. Anything you want to do. But just don't be greedy. There's no point in being greedy at this point.
Oh man, Nikola is currently in extended hours trading at $6.50.
What?
Yeah,
The highs of one of like 150. You remember that shit?
yeah, that was sick. Cause I shorted it all the way down. Cool. Alrighty. Well, yeah. So they were at 689. They're at 649. I can see them moving a little bit lower.
I'm trying to find a range to place my stakes, but I can't find it. On the Dow, at least.
eBay swingers. That's a funny way to put it. We will more than likely be taking profit here at the bell. It is a $47 put, so if you grabbed one of those, you will likely be up. So it's a weekly. Take profit. What's up?
Again, I'm not going to be trading right at the open. I want to see how the market behaves first. I'm not going to give back any money that I made. That's my main priority today. And
You want more strawberries? I got you.
yo, do you have those white strawberries where you're at?
You lost me. Or what? No.
DJ always.
I think DJ's. I think he's undergrowing the strawberries, dude. I'm just kidding. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Funny because DJ got like I didn't go anything on my shit. So if you guys play this game, you know that. I'm not gonna be on live for the open stuff again. I want to see how it is. But I will be typing out in the chat with anything you guys need. You guys will DM me. I cleared most of my DMs, so I get notifications now. Thank God. No, brother. I'm not in puts. I'm not in anything. I'm trading t-shirts. I took the trade last night and closed it out. I did the math where we would be at if I was still holding. I just threw up, and then I just woke up.
Yeah, I stayed up way too late last night, watching everything happen.
Dude, I had this is gonna sound pretty weird. I went to sleep like at 11. I had 2 nightmares. Literally woke up at 1:44 and then at 4:47. 2 nightmares, and it was my body waking up the trade.
That's hilarious. That's your body was feeling the market.
My body was waking me up to trade, like straight up. That's what was happening. I didn't pull myself up, like stay up tonight. Worst case, go to sleep and then miss the New York Open. What's gonna happen when it drops more. But I didn't want to sleep. I was tired also. I was weak. I was up last night for nothing. Not last night.
All right, here's a general. I'm gonna take profit on everything.
Thank you.
I said TP everyone, everything, all the time.
And if you're up nice, numbers, right? Take your profits. Again, if you're up nice numbers, take your profits. One last time for the ones in the back. If you're up a nice number,
take profits.
I don't know how else to explain this. You're gonna get another trade. There's always a trade. Just take your profit. Please. Papa, please.
If you're not day trading, go out a little further. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Another way to put it. There is so much to take profit on that I don't even. I gotta like. I don't know what to do.
Start clicking out.
I know.
Wally is gonna start clicking today. Out. You gotta secure those profits. You don't last in this game without securing profits.
You gotta get
Watching unrealized gains disappear.
Oh, Fubo had. If the market does bounce, Fubo had decent earnings. Watch them. But they gapped down. Oh, Snapchat. Sorry. Snapchat is on watch, guys, today. If you have the $33 put, you can hold if you want to and add weeklies, but that's the only thing I'm going to hold on to is Snapchat because this one is overhanging a gap, and I think that we get at least the $30 mark out of it. So, all right. Anyway, I mean, we're acting like the bell's about to ring. We got like
I was gonna get up already, but again, right before I go, I'm just gonna say what I think today is and the level I said. So if you're gonna write them down, now is the time. SPY possible rejection 415, 416. Q's possible rejection 323.
Russian state.
Well,
Sorry, Russian state media is reporting that Ukrainians struck civilian cargo ships with missiles. I think.
Tesla possible 730 or 750 rejection. And that's pretty much it. Those are the only things that I see would happen. Remember to take the rejection. You let the level get tested. Once the level is lost, you enter. Your stop is a break above that high that was given.
I gotta restart the stream.
All right, so take care, everybody. I'm here. You guys can DM me for anything. Seriously, for anything. I'll probably be fluctuating and under trash. On live, I mean.
Can I DM you for some Wagyu fest?
Yeah. I have to send you some material, bro. I keep forgetting. You have to send me a new address.
All right. Yeah, because I could do with some more exotic sodas.
Did you end up getting the coffee machine?
No, I don't know what to do, man. I feel like I should just stop drinking coffee.
No. That's what your therapist told us when you got it. No, dude.
Maybe I should listen to them. The walls are cracking, Manny. I'm just kidding.
So just mix it up in a cup and then drink it.
I think I'm just gonna get one of those, like the Cuban ones. Well, it's the ones that you put on. It's the espresso, and it comes. It comes up rather than go. It's like not pressurized. It's like I don't know how to describe it. I'll send you a picture of it.
The pods are they pods?
No, definitely not.
I'm gonna unfriend you.
Yeah, I'm not.
Never.
That's bad for the.
No disrespect to anybody that uses coffee buds. No disrespect, but our friendship goes to that night, not over.
Coffee buds.
If we could fall below 405 and SPY open, then we test.
People have.
Open just because the gap is so big, but we dropped a lot. I need to see some hedging taking place from market makers. I need to see some moves up into rejections. Remember, technical traders are not going to go short on lows. They're going to wait for resistance resets to push forward.
Everybody at the coffee shop said hi.
Oh, do they know it was me?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Said make sure it's okay right. We said hi.
Damn.
Yeah. I said we moved out to Whitmarsh, but we'll be back.
I missed it. All right, dude. Peace. Bye bye. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Oh. Bag in the car.
How'd your
By the way.
coffee cup work?
Good. It still got kind of cold after a minute. Question though, I was calling you about 5 times because I couldn't remember what I was getting.
I got a stream running.
I called your other phone too.
I bet the coffee shop knows your name. What do you mean by that? That's one of the funniest things that kids like this upcoming generation like says is like it like instead of like saying like jokes like about like something in particular, they just will like kind of cock their head and be like, "What do you mean by that?" And like it'll be like something kind of questionable that you said, and you'll be like, "Damn!" Like, like they do it without actually saying anything. And some kid did it the other day. I was playing with AO on Fortnite. I said something. He's like, "What do you mean by that?" Like, what do you mean by that?
Oh, and I heard him saying, "That's my dad."
Yeah, because I went in there. AO was playing on a game. His mic on, and I was like, "AO, there's poop all over the bed." Sorry, I'm the worst. I'm not a mean dad. I play with my kid on Fortnite. I take part. That's not a mean dad. I hope not. He'll pull the plug on his mic immediately. Alrighty, guys. So it is about 9:20, so we almost have a that sounds really good. So watch list. I think I like Snapchat the best. It didn't gap down a lot, so it could go gap fill first. Maybe a little squeeze. We'll see how this plays out. I'm not exactly sure, but there is a main level of $34.17, which you can and I would expect to drop. Or a bounce, excuse me, too. Baba. I'm going to be looking for continuation to the downside on Baba. So if you are in Baba, am I still holding DWAC puts? Yes, I am. I very much believe that DWAC is still going to fall. You know what I also think? I think the terms and conditions will actually end up going viral. I think it will be a talk like, "Oh my God, DWAC." Y'all see that? Y'all see that rising wedge? Yuck. I don't like that there's a gap up there, but that's awesome. Yeah, baby. What's up, guys? Good morning. March 4th call, Apple 160. Man, you are a perma bull. Do you still hold mRNA? I forced myself to take profit, and I am in so many other positions that I shouldn't. I just kind of spread thin here. So I'm going to take profit on everything. I'm actually having, just to be honest with you guys, I'm having a little bit of anxiety right now, trying to prioritize because I'm obviously like writing down in my mind, all right, like Baba's going to be, what's going to be more profitable, what looks like it's closer to a balance level. And that is one of the issues sometimes when you have so many open positions, but didn't expect all that. I will say Piton is in the money, so worth taking profit on. eBay is not in the money, but more than likely going to be. I almost said the wrong word there. My main Discord. The link is in my bio for my Discord, but again, and I say this, there's a little bit more than average people here. You don't need to pay for anything. There's a bunch of free material in there. I wouldn't recommend paying for anything until you're at a level that you feel like you can use it. It's like buying a router and never having worked with wood before, so you're probably going to get clipped. What's up? Really? Oh, I can see that. Can I start with 200? Can you start with 200? Sure, you could start with 200. I don't know how far you're going to get, but you can. Anyway, so prioritize taking profit, prioritize getting the best place to make decisions is cash. And so if you need to get to that place where you're able to make those decisions, do so. And just take a deep breath because there is a lot going on right now. And yeah, be patient. You guys know that that pays. We've seen that pay off a couple times where we've taken positions on things like Snapchat, which were red yesterday. I had a couple of people DM me and be like, what is my stop loss? Those were down 11%. And I'm sure more than likely are going to be a decent amount. So anybody have any damn, you're right, SQ did go lower. Yeah. Can I screenshot all of my open positions? Whew. Yes, I can. It's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of cheap hedges, so and the earnings straddles. Oh man, I wanted to swing coin too. Where's that at? Oh my god. That's all right. That's pretty much my target though. I said 162.
Good thing we didn't swing those earnings.
Oh, why did you? I was totally okay with that decision, and you just reminded me. Well, I have other puts, but I was up 130%, and I had to do it, dude. I just or like not 130%. That was Baba. Excuse me. I was up like 80%. So.
Oh well, dude, I cut it at. I had it Amazon 2,700. I did not swing.
I did swing space, eBay. Yeah, this is a Gap account. There's more positions. Sorry. Let me screenshot the top positions.
Oh, I had a 110 GMT that I didn't swing as well. 105.
Puts. Yeah, we have a lot of puts. Yes. If you're in a 318. So here's the deal. When people say should you take profits, if you have, and what you should always have is a target. You have to have a target, even if it's multiple targets, because what you do is at these key levels, you assess the bounces, you find where reversals can occur, and then a lot of the times you want to trim, right? So if you have multiple contracts, you want to trim into strength, and then you want to be evaluating those bounces in order to get an idea of and market sentiment in order to get an idea of whether or not you're going to see continuation to the downside, because there's always going to be bounces. It's just your job to evaluate how substantial they are. So there's a ton of free information in my Discord. Just hit the link in my bio, and you'll find that. Yeah, Austin. You got Austin Astro. Both of you guys slapped mRNA too. Wow, Apple is literally at my PT that I gave yesterday. I have a 150 price target on Apple.
Dude, does anyone think that we're gonna like
rock it up?
Bounce here? Bounce up the
I thought red to green. But because right now I don't hear, and I need to unmute Benzinga, but I'm keeping my eyes on the news right now. I'm not seeing anything, and I feel like that's kind of what would kind of be a catalyst for a bounce. Is like a more, which we've already had one, but
dude, that was sad. But
I think he's probably
45 figures. That's gonna be worth like a grand, probably.
yeah, he's gonna have, what would be great though? We would want to bounce anyway, so that way we could get better averages if we do continue to the downside. So
yeah, but they're gonna get expensive at the opening. I see the IBC.
So this price action is quintessential again. If you guys want me to show you, I made this idea. God, long time ago. But I've shown this to you guys multiple times. But this is the difference. Just a simple drawn chart on the difference between a stock market crash, a correction, and a bear market. And right here, which is funny, is we're actually at the points in which I drew these. Or back down to the points in which I drew these. But with the crash, obviously it's exactly what it sounds like. You know, it's a crash. You're dumping hard. A correction. Look at the jerking around, the big bounces off of supports. Big, or you could even say really intense or volatile retest of the same levels that you break down below. And that's the kind of market that you're seeing is, you know, we do bounce up. Wow. Yo, that headline, no cap, dude. Wow. Russian ETF and benchmark funds get shelled as your... That's... Someone's about to get fired. They've got to get fired for that. You gotta get not even
Roughly a minute until market open. S&P futures at around 4,114 level. Crude futures up about 7.5% pre-market.
I thought that was Astro for just a split second. I was like, damn, dude, that guy's loud as fuck.
Yo, man, D-Rack.
TFF Pharmaceuticals announcing results from its in vitro neutralization and viral replication assays on the company's inhaled niclosamide and the effects on the Omicron variant.
Dude, I might take Myrna back below yesterday's low if we get there, regardless of their earnings.
Oh, they did pop up.
Below 135.20.
Why did I thought I saw them up or down? They're up off of earnings. All right, we're open. We're open. Holy shit!
Market open update. S&P futures down about 2.59%. Following the Russian military operations in Ukraine. Crude futures up about 7.6% on supply concerns. Gold and natural gas are also seeing strength at the open.
They're just clicking buttons. Ah! Space 156%. If you swung space, TP 156% on space. Snapchat 34%. Piton, that was around 70%. Baba didn't do. Baba's contracts are moving weird. Max R pots are up around 60%. Piton's going to go and fill its gap. Watch Myrna though, if it doesn't reject, to go to 147.28. I think we still spill, dude. Holy crap. Okay, Baba March 18th puts just updated. Those are 200%. If you took Baba puts, those are 200%. Why is Baba calls? Whoa, market makers are fucking around with those. I can't. I'm trying to get out of things right now, and I'm having trouble. Weeble. Oh wait, I swung calls on Myrna. Oh wait, I don't remember doing that. All right, so Baba's first initial move was up, tapped 104.15. That's a key level for them. Nicola went and gap filled right off the bat, 684.
Origin Bancorp, ticker OBNK, signs a merger agreement to acquire BT Holdings in an all-stock transaction valued at approximately $313.5 million.
$1 billion. Yeah, they did. They literally. I wonder if we're green or red then. Continuation.
Stocks moving slightly higher following the open. S&P futures now down about 2.18% for the session.
All right, cool. I still have Piton. I was not able to get out of Piton. I did get caught. Lost $7 on that, so I'm not really worried about that. Okay, cool. Baba calls. Looks like we're pushing to the upside here. For anybody scalping, I think 106 is a 105.70 is a decent target if we can break above this. What's pre-market highs here? Using orb strategy. Oh, we're way up there. Never mind. That strategy is applicable here. Personally, I'm anticipating Piton to either fill this gap and then reverse. Space. Did you guys get, guys? I was just trying to cut everything. I cut space for 156%. Anybody? Did you guys take profit? Did you guys sell? How'd everything go? There was, I don't even actually know the results of half of this shit because I was just clicking. Baba. No, Baba's still struggling.
W Wayfair shares halted on a circuit breaker. The stock spiking sharply over the $100 level following the open here. Shares are still down about 2% for the session, but up about $18 from the low near the open. It's ticker W.
For a push up to around 130. I don't know why they're halted. I need more news. Piton is
BMRN Biomerian shares were halted on a circuit breaker a few minutes ago, rebounding from a session low. Expecting Biomerian shares to resume trade at 9:38 and 57 seconds a.m. Eastern Time. Bravo Mike Romeo Yankee BRMN. IPWR Ideal Power shares were halted on a circuit breaker just after the open and now resuming trade here.
All right, so if gaps
this is
are getting
a
filled,
rather
let's
low
see if we
volume issue.
push.
Shares are down about 12% for the session. India Papa Whiskey Romeo IPWR.
Kind of like
W Wayfair shares should resume around 9:40 and 15 seconds a.m. Eastern Time. That's ticker W.
I'm not taking anything weekly yet.
CPTN Septon shares halted on a circuit breaker. This was one of those SPAC redemption plays, seeing momentum this week. Shares of Septon halted down 14%, but halted on the upside. Stock rebounding from a session low, now up about $2.50 from that session low. Charlie Papa Tango, November, CPTN.
AMD's moving. Baba's moving up.
A Reuters headline here that the European Union has summoned Russia's ambassador to the EU over the invasion of the Ukraine.
AMD's going for its gap fill 109.87.
Stocks rebounding here since the open, rebounding off of the 41.10 level, rebounding about 25 points here. Last trade in S&P 500 futures 41.33 3/4.
All right, cool. Insane. I cut Nikola puts for like 80 or 70%, and then the calls were down like 80 or 90%. Now the calls are down 2% because it ripped back up to the upside, which it doesn't deserve.
ECB President Christine Lagarde saying that EU officials will hold a press conference at 3 p.m. That's according to Bloomberg. I would imagine that is 3 p.m.
The reason why I haven't
Europe
taken
time.
Baba, guys, is the contracts are inflated. You're gonna, on the weekly side, you're gonna lose money quick. Nice. Holy shit, Baba's moving into that gap.
BMRN, Biomarin shares resuming trade here. Bravo Mike Romeo, November, BMRN, YNDX, Yandex.
Oh my god.
Shares halted on a circuit breaker, rebounding from a session low. Yankee November, Delta X-ray, YNDX. This is viewed as a play on developments in Russia. This is a Netherlands-based communications and internet company that serves Russian users. It's Yankee November Delta X-ray. YNDX shares should be resuming following a circuit breaker at around 9:42 and 56 seconds a.m. Eastern Time. Yankee November Delta X-ray YNDX.
Not quite yet. I'm waiting for the pullback. I'm going to try and buy it on a bounce. Because this is where I would imagine things are going to reverse if they're going to. What's up, guys? Yeah, I see a lot of things moving here, guys, but I just had to take a profit on a lot of positions. And then now I'm looking at whether or not these are going to continue to fill their gaps. So there are some stocks right now that have the remainder.
Wayfair shares resuming trade here. The stock up about 4.5% last trade in Wayfair, 141.44. That's W ticker whiskey. Correction, that was the wrong price for Wayfair. Wayfair shares last trading at 111.30. That's ticker whiskey. Shares down 8%.
I still have Snapchat. I still have Piton puts. I could not get out of it.
Wayfair shares halted on a circuit breaker right away following that resumption. TWTR Twitter shares marking a new session high at 32.50. The stock down about 1% in the third here. Tango Whiskey, Tango Romeo, TWTR.
Space, nice gap fill rejection. So that was a good analysis by Astro too. That initial pop up and gap fill, those were pretty big gaps. So I was a little surprised by that. But I guess it's better to fill the gaps before you keep going down. Less targets to the upside.
Yeah, kind of looking to see if we're going to get continuation on the early names. So Myrna, watching coins, which will continue to practice.
PTON Peloton Peloton fan site here. Peloton Buddy with an article that Peloton Studios now to open summer 2022 and homecoming 2022 page is live again. That's Papa Tango Oscar November PTON. Shares of Peloton here appear unaffected. The stock is moving with the broader markets. Papa Tango Oscar November PTON.
Oh, good God. Oh, my God. That was the whole frontal region of my brain.
YNDX, Yandex shares resume trade. Following a circuit breaker, shares are pulling back from a recent high, 1668, the last trade in Yandex. The stock down more than 50% here this morning. Yankee November Delta X-ray, YNDX.
Probably the ozone spreads. Oh my God, that thing gapped down stupid. All right, my eyes are on
CEI Camber
Apple.
Energy
March
shares up
4th,
nearly 60% here. This is a penny
calls.
stock, last trading around the 93-cent level.
March
Charlie
4th,
Echo India
Apple
CEI.
160 calls are the calls that I'm looking at entering.
CEI Camber Energy. This is one of the most discussed stocks today in the Benzinga Pro Swimmers chat. That's Charlie Echo India CEI.
Why is it the most discussed?
Like the penny stock.
Yeah, I know that, but why?
Oh.
Why?
Somebody's pumping it. Yeah. I think today's going to be a tough trade. Also,
I'm gonna try.
Erratic movement.
Yeah, there is a bit of erratic movement. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try one trade here. I think on Apple. Waiting for a bounce either off of 154.17, and then I'll take a 160 March 4th call. Yeah, CEI is actually ripping right now, so.
If you Myrna can get through what was your level? I had like 145.57 up to like 152.28. I don't know if we're going to see concentration.
I have 160 as a target on Myrna, but.
Oh, that far?
Yeah. All right.
That would be cool if we did.
Be cooler if you did. Y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and start.
ROKU Roku shares marking a new intraday high over the 119 level. Roku shares recently turning positive, up about 1/3% here.
They gapped down.
Last trading Roku right at 119. Romeo Oscar Kilo Uniform ROKU.
All right, I'm gonna take the those 160 calls are jacked. I'm gonna take the 162.
W Wayfair
calls,
shares resuming trade again.
March 4th.
That was following the second circuit breaker. Wayfair shares down about 6 or 7% here. Last trade 113.79 in ticker W.
I'll add another contract above 156.15. So I'm in one contract of Apple here, 162.50. I was going to hit that 160, but you guys see that price is jumping quickly. Yeah, Microsoft looks kind of interesting. That one has a gap.
Uranium related plays seeing interest here today. Stocks are higher.
I got uranium,
including
literal physical
Cameco,
uranium.
that's ticker Charlie Juliet. UR Energy, that's ticker Uniform Romeo Golf. Also Energy Fuels, that's 4U's, ticker UUUU. And also
FBI.
UEC, that's Uranium Energy
I-
Uniform Echo
it's a
Charlie
deal to
again.
have.
Uranium plays higher today.
UUUU is moving up nicely. Stop loss on Apple here, guys, is going to be that 154.25 candle close below. You've got the vibrating.
A correction here from the source. EU officials will hold a press conference at 9 a.m. Eastern time. That's going to be 3 p.m. Central Europe time on Friday. The original report said it was today.
Meep. Yeah. My target is 157.25. I'm going to use this pivot. That's a 9-day moving average. For Apple weeklies, if you wanted to, let's see here.
W Wayfair, a third
I'd say
circuit breaker here
160s.
in Wayfair
160s.
shares of Wayfair
I'll
halted
add 160
at near an intraday high at 119.23. The stock halted up 1.75%, ticker W.
Stop loss for that one is probably going to be under 154.70.
We can't have quantitative.
Yeah, right. They'll tell us about it later.
A lot of these names with the same Shopify, Tesla, UAD, Coin, Roku, kind of all pushing up through these 10-minute open highs.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel
AMTD, that's
I'm taking an
AMTD
Apple
International,
position,
shares
but I'm
halted on a
fully
circuit breaker.
But you do
The stock halted to the
It almost feels it's like when cats or small dogs walk in front of your feet constantly while you're walking to a hallway. That's how this guy, when he talks, he just drives me nuts sometimes. Because it's right when I talk, he just starts talking at the same time. It's like, are you listening? You don't kick the cat out of the way, crazy person. You said no weeklies after Wednesday. Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb for people who don't know how to use them. If you
7 or turn around. You make new high after that time for continuation.
I'm gonna TP this weekly. The February 25th call, probably around 157.60, like I said. Should have grabbed that opening bell bounce, but I don't like to play the bell like that. I'd rather miss the bell and then play the reaction after.
Same. Only playing opening bell, even though it's hit.
Yeah, I used to do the same thing. Used to be sweating.
Well, yeah, I mean, I mentioned it. I didn't type it in, but I grabbed a clean call. I don't know. I need to maybe get out of some stuff. 40%. That's what do you think about coin? You think that thing has more ring to the upside? Coming into 50 minutes, 50 EMA.
All right, so my Apple target for the weekly is basically going to be 157.50. The other target is possibly the remainder of the gap fill. I'm going to be watching. You're having trouble selling. Cancel your order and try and hit the limit. Yeah, lower your limit or depending on the spread, sometimes you can mark it.
Yeah, be careful selling your market.
Yeah, sometimes you have to be careful depending on the stonk. For Snapchat, if you guys look at the hourly, the 9-day moving average, I'm okay with $37 getting retested. This thing's still bearish in my opinion. Microsoft's filling that gap. Oh fuck! I was gonna grab that 280 call. Yeah, if you guys took Microsoft, right-o, good job. Market sell only to find out the spread is a 500. Yeah, that's a hard way to find out. Damn, Russia about to go to war on Russia. They said anybody can get it, even us. From us.
I remember I did that with June put one time and got so screwed. I was like down $1,000, like right when I opened the put option.
I think it's inevitable that the market continues to go down, and that's exactly why it's going up right now. Also gap fills. Also maybe even shorts covering. We're 21% here on Apple. If you're heavy, you need a trim. Yep. 24% here on weeklies. Can I look at Neo like this? Hot dog. Nope. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, there we go. All right, Apple.
Pretty impressive moves here off the open.
Hell yeah, dude. Roku's moving, dude. Roku was a nice. So that was a gap fill that, I mean, yeah, again, nice move, but I'm not going to get caught on that, you know. Did you guys see that weekly on Apple? Somebody just unloaded those calls. Like to see a bounce here. Otherwise, get ready to cut. Today is going to be a tough day to trade, so don't get it twisted. I am holding Piton. Yes, I am still short on Piton. I am still short on everything, including Snapchat. All right, Apple is currently pulling back. This is likely as it is breaking above the 155.65, so you would expect for a retest here. But I'm going to go ahead and make the smart decision and utilize my stop loss once it's in range here. So we're at 155.62. Jesus. Okay, Piton's moving up now. Have your stop losses on Piton if you wish. For me, I would say 27.35, back up above that level, and things could get hairy. Apple back in the green. People buying the dip. Neo's filling its gap, which is kind of surprising because XPVE has a gap too, to $34 that it's not filled quite yet. So mRNA is starting to curl back up. What are you in right now, Astro? Okay.
But I'm just watching it. We need to close above 145.7. What are you looking at? Are you looking at 5 minutes?
Yeah, looking
Yeah,
at
we
5.
need to
EMA
break
crossing.
that 146.84. Oh, now we're looking at all.
Stay patient, everybody.
Kind of coming into some supply on movie.
Do you guys see the IV? Do you guys see these Apple calls? People are buying the dip. That's why your contracts haven't lost that. They were you guys just saw the value of your contracts drop considerable or a considerable amount. One reason being is more than likely at the bell, the 160 call was the one that was grabbed. So we grabbed a high IV call, and then most likely that flush of IV, which comes with playing the opening bell. Now, however, we're green on these calls, and we just got a really nice bounce off of my key. Look at that. Look at the contracts. Again, 10% on the 160-250s. So watch for Apple to go and push 157.10 here. Above that, I think we should hit 158. And then that's where I'm probably going to bail on the 160 call for the weekly call. So huh? What'd you say?
Oh, man, biggest what my expectation was. I'm a bit of an asshole when I play weeklies usually. So,
Tisk.
but if you can play next week, definitely don't play weeklies. If you can ever not play weeklies, don't play weeklies. A lot of you guys have bigger accounts than I do, so play the following week contracts because it gives you time on your options against beta. Your delta might be a little bit better too, especially if you have a big move.
Looks like Neo has a ton of volume. That's weird.
Coin or Myrna? I don't know. It depends if we break that daily structure, which was bearish still. We're sitting in a bear flag. I mean, we need to get over 152, and then we need to get over, further. There is a gap at 161, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would swing anything if I let this kind of shake out. Oh shit! What the hell?
Oh, sorry.
There's too much talking.
Myrna did pump, yeah.
Yeah, the contract.
So where do I see the fact that people are buying the dip on Apple? I can just look at the value of the contract and see that it's not following in line with just the underlying asset moving. It's obviously like when we hit that high on Apple, and before you saw the rejection, you saw the value of your weekly contracts drop. That means somebody had an ass load and they dumped them, and or a lot of people sold at that level, and so you lost value on your contract due to that, and then the value of the contract picked back up, right, when we bounced. So, which I'm doing too much talking to. So, for me, we just need to hold the 155.63, and if not, we will cut it and we will move on. And we'll take the next trade. Right now, I am down $9 on the 160 weekly, which is the only one that I have, and the 162.50 March 4th is up $2. So pretty much whatever. I can just close it and move on. So
I think I closed that.
you closed it. Oh, my boy.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Where are you at? Where are you located, dude?
we're at like 45%. But but it's probably gonna go in the money now.
Well, you have a weekly. You can't negotiate. You know, you have to.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So like I'm here. But yeah, look at how it got in money a little bit. 152.28 was I did. Yeah. I'll pay attention to the option premium percentage again.
Yeah, don't play your contracts, dude. Play the chart. What, dude? I have a 170 call for Myrna, and it's green. It just turned green. That's nuts. That's nuts. Wow. Wow.
For sure.
That's cool. Cool. Hell yeah, dude. I'm about 12% on that thing. I have a 160 target for it today, dude. Ooh. Ooh.
Contract at like $200 for I close my head.
All right. So right now, guys, this is the bounce level for Apple. I need it. It's got to bounce. If it doesn't, it's going to push down to 155.40. And at that point, guys, it's going to be more of a rounded top. Got to bounce here. Got to bounce here. This is a projection off of the 9-day moving average. Get ready to cut the weekly. The weekly goes first because it goes. So go ahead and I have the close order up now. And I'm getting ready to hit place order if we do not bounce. Bounce? No bounce. She loves me. She loves me not. Apple loves me. Damn. Yeah, I held a Myrna call just in case my put. So I actually closed Myrna puts yesterday for a nice amount, and now I'm able to close the hedge on those puts for green too, bro. That's lit.
Here, I'll give you guys the Myrna levels. I was watching here.
Hold above. You need to hold here on Myrna, or you're gonna get.
No, yeah, but we're getting rejecting right at level 58.
If I'm not messing with the market anymore, if you're losing money, well, one, you need to like slow down. Period. That's normally people are trying to go and like save their whole account, sometimes their whole lives, with one play. So, all right, I gotta hold on. I'll finish ranting here in a second once I get rid of Apple. And not looking good, guys. Which is not bad. We're gonna take a small L. These are small L's that are within our risk. And like I said, like we talked about the other day, a lot of people are not going to cut, right? I hope everybody cuts, but a lot of people, even if they're not listening to me, to somebody else, they could get somebody say, hey, all right, I'm cutting here, and they're going to hold. If you cut and you take a small scrape, you can live to fight another day. Don't get knocked out trying to make one play, force it to win. So getting ready. Yep. Do what has to be done. You're the hero of the story. Apple's bouncing nice here. There we go. Sweet. That was good. Like that postcard. T-shirt. Apple rejected. So look at that little level right there. Apple rejected. My finger's still. What? Yeah. It needs to get back down below 118. All right, come on.
Putting in like 10 and 15 minutes of it.
We got an Apple flag here, dude. Like the little 1 minute flag, man. This thing looks like it wants to bounce so bad right now. But it's got to get back up above 156.14. Tap that 156.81 and go make a new high. Microsoft looks like it wants to fill its gap, finish filling its gap. Did anybody take Microsoft? I didn't signal it, but I did give a level or two. I mentioned it. You did? Let's go. I love this Discord. Dude, I still remember when you hit me up, dude. I'm glad you love it, man. I really appreciate that. You've made a lot of progress too, man. From when you first came in here to now, dude, you've made a lot of progress. I see you calling levels and everything, dude. That's amazing stuff.
I'm seeing a lot of activity over here.
Will you bounce, Apple? God, dog. Dagnabbit. It's probably gonna hit me with a big old red candle. Yeah, if you took Microsoft, that thing was busting.
These levels, we start rolling back down. That was it. We might test the lows. Have my dreams.
There we go. Debarkle. I have a link in my bio for my Discord, and it has a ton of free information, step-by-step process type situation there. So all we can do is just sit and monitor. I don't know what NU is, but it's ripping. Just made about 5 consecutive new highs here. Nicola, who? What? NU, yeah. I guess that's it. Yes. Holy shit, Roku, dude. Roku just fucking. Myrna's still. Yeah, Myrna's been a twerk.
We're hoping that 1.5 level. Amazon flagging 10-minute chart off the V1.
So is Apple. I think these things. Huh?
So they haven't filled their gap yet.
That's the only thing is everything, and you know what's crazy is everything else is just sitting. Guys, Piton might be worth hedging with you could get it out of the money weekly, you could get it next week. Right now we have Piton March 18th. So we have time. I would highly recommend, so you want to be reactive, all right? Or proactive, excuse me, not reactive, because reactive is where you lose your money. So February or March 4th, hold on one second.
When we are when you nice they have earnings after hours. That was the reason I wanted to take it out from that drop. Especially with that big 15-minute candle. The IV push on any movement.
$28. That's pretty fucking far away.
Well, we're going to roll over here.
Well, this is what, yeah. So I'm really curious because Apple has a perfect bull flag and it's failing. Everything is like Roku. I mean, had the same setup that Piton has right now, so Piton can go and pop. I'm thinking about grabbing a 2850 as a hedge right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. 2850 is a hedge for my Piton March 18th put. I'm going to cut this below the point of control around 2680. Apple curling back up. Do it. Look at that, guys. A little bit of patience, sugar, spice, a little bit of insider trading by Nancy Pullet. Lots of flyers. That's what I'm.
For holding the gap, so we push above and hold the gap. So when you're going 28, 36, 47.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But if we lose, I think if we lose that, on Amazon.
It would just take a quick engulfment on Apple down to 155.50, and that would be bearish. And this one likely would go back down to levels like 154. So I'm actually watching for a rejection here on Apple right now. So right now, this is your opportunity. If you don't like today's price action and you're in the Apple call that I'm in, this is your opportunity to walk away. You're green, not a lot. You're green enough to go ahead and call it. Because if today's price action is not in your favor, you need to do that. So what's up?
By the way, I remember now 7 a.m., 10 a.m. doing that. If we do not make it too high, there's no trend continuation for whatever name you're trading. That's a new high, point new high.
Unless it's a divergent sector. So obviously, not a divergent sector, but if that the sector, you can look at that same strategy sector wise. So, oh my God, what moving averages am I using? What's the TP on Apple puts price? My TP on Apple puts was forever ago. So if you're still in Apple puts from yesterday, you're on your own trading journey with that one at the moment.
I believe is starting to increase.
Oh man, I'm really I'm a little salty about the coin. I missed it. Boy with the coin. Piton hedge.
This is 2803 and then 2978.
You guys grab that with me. So if you are in Snapchat with me, the reason why I'm even in these right now is because I couldn't take profit on them earlier. So I'm just going to manage them. It's part of the real life example of running the small account with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and utilize the $29 call, or excuse me, $39 call for Snapchat for this week right now. And it's in. And that's a hedge. What's up, man? All right, y'all. You guys were down on Apple with me for just a little bit here, but you should be up high of day 22% on March 4th and 15% here on weeklies. Why were the weeklies higher? Or worth more earlier, and now the longer expiration is worth more. Well, that's IV in action for you right there, and that is why it's worth to pay, or it's worth paying for time. So, what's up? Sorry. I know, yeah, the thing ripped, man. That was actually, yeah, that was a big one. Microsoft also put in a fucking 272 to 280, which obviously not 14, but for Microsoft, that's a pretty nice move. Oh my God, that was SWAT team. We get raided. Whoa. Okay. All right, guys, I gotta get off. There's Microsoft gap fill. Oh, if you took that, good job. Why can't Apple fill? Take me to the promised land, Tim.
Yeah, there's
I got a call.
The Amazon pivoted to Iran. You got full level MG off is really nice. Push hard out of that big deal.
Money blower. You did that by yourself too, dude. You know, I may have pointed out the gap, but you executed the play. So great job, dude. And if you're about to go fishing, you just made cash. It's 10 o'clock. That's a good ass day, dude. Yeah, dude, MOEX got halted. They halted it for trading. Wish I was going fishing. I got some retention ponds I could go and try and catch like a blackfish.
I think we're at 80%.
You'll never do this. Is crazy. I TP Nikola puts for I think close to like 80, 100%, somewhere in there. It's kind of hard to remember now. It's so fast. I am now up 30% on Nikola calls from the same entry. That is like the best. That's sick. All right, anybody still in Apple? That's 38% on weekly contracts and 29% on next week. So the smart thing to do is, while I'm up 40%, because you can see IV has returned to our 160 calls because people are obviously buying this breakout. So I'm looking for 157 or 150, 157.50 and 158 even. If you would like to TP there, I would say 157.84 is probably a great target to go ahead and take profit on the weekly. If you want to hold for the remainder of the gap fill, that is what the next week contract is for. Holy shit, Roku. Damn. Oh. Take cover. We're getting new. Hey man, chill, Kevin. Don't. That's not even. That's not even funny. I couldn't even play Call of Duty last night. This stuff had me so wicked. I was like, man, how am I gonna go play a war game right now? Could have played real war games. Adobe going up. Oh man, I missed it. Yeah. Yeah, I play more Oculus stuff when I do play. Apple. Hey, that's sorry. What'd you say? Do you want one? All right, make sure to go follow Simple Stacks Investing on Instagram, dude. I'm just fine with you. We'll get you in the classroom, dude. Get you teaching some VR lessons. All right. So I want to just say that the Piton hedge, absolutely phenomenal right there. Although it's not like printing huge dollar bucks, it is giving us a nice return right here. So Apple, I'm looking for one more leg up here on Apple. But this is 157.50. So if you want a TP, you got really close to my mark of 157.85. So 50%, you are up 50% on 160 calls for this week. I'm going to exercise good risk management right now, and I'm going to go ahead and take profit on this contract. Bought for 55, sold for $80.50. I hope. Okay, yes. All right, now I have 162.50 calls that are a lot more palpable, malleable. We just hit our pivot point, our S1 pivot point. So I'd like to see a push up. Otherwise, I may look for that rejection. So this is where the ceiling becomes the floor. If you're an Apple, look at the previous level in which we just broke. That's what we need to retest. That's 156.84. If we retest, it's a test. So if we pass the test, we bounce. If we fail the test, we fall. And if we fall, we go to 155.50. And before that happens, we close out our contracts. So once all of these gaps are filled, I am more than likely short. So, and there it is. My man just said $1. Someone's been watching Bluey with the kiddos. Yes, that is
I mean, the question is, like, they went to war. We got the reaction.
Go.
but
Let's go, team. Smash up that like. I want to see them in the chat. You guys want to talk about some stocks? I don't mind hopping on. Been in the back here. I'll go ahead and hop on, but hit that like. Let's go ahead. Smash up.
Who is that? Am I hearing shit?
No, I heard that too. We need to look at some green books now that it's up.
Did they just say smash or cash? Who the fuck was that?
Did we show the game? Yeah, we did.
Oh shit, this man's got me distracted. All right. Well, Apple call, good TP, great TP on that Apple Weekly. And now we failed that retest. Apple's one of the only gaps that didn't fill. Great choice, Garrett. Exquisite. It's still technically holding the 9-day moving average, and it would need to bounce back up to 156.87 here, which it is not doing. So I suspect that we could form a rising wedge out of this, but I am going to let this candle close on the 5-minute and about.
Yesterday, Vladimir Putin recognized two regions of Ukraine as independent states. And he bizarrely asserted that these regions are no longer part of Ukraine and their sovereign territory.
Bizarrely.
Put it simply, Russia just announced
I
that
mean,
it's carving out a big chunk of Ukraine.
He kind of has
Last night,
been
Putin
saying that for a
authorized Russian
minute.
forces to deploy into these regions. Today, he asserted that these regions are actually extend deeper than the two areas he recognized, claiming large areas currently under the jurisdiction of the Ukrainian government.
I am closing my Apple put or my Apple call right now. Goodbye. I sold it for green.
Last night, and many of you
It's
didn't
gone.
know, he's setting up
Out.
the rationale to go much further.
All right. Sell
This is
your
the beginning of the
Piton
Russian invasion of
hedges.
Ukraine, as he indicated and asked permission to be able to do from his Duma. So let's
Boom.
begin to. I'm going to begin to impose sanctions in response, far beyond the steps we and our allies and partners implemented in 2014. And if Russia goes further with this invasion, we stand prepared to go further as with sanctions. Who in the Lord's name does Putin think gives him the right to declare
What?
new so-called
Who in the
countries
Lord's name
on
thinks
territory that belongs
what?
to his neighbors? This is a flagrant violation of international law and demands
Everybody
a firm
just said
response
what?
from the international community. Over the last few months, we've coordinated closely with our NATO allies and partners in Europe and around the world to prepare that response. We've said all along, and I've told Putin to his face more than a month ago, that we would act together. And the moment Russia moved against Ukraine,
Yeah, I'm
Russia
out
has
of
now
Apple completely.
undeniably moved against
And I would
Ukraine
recommend
by
closing your
declaring
hedges. So if
these
you
independent
got
states.
those cheap weekly
So
hedges
today,
with
I'm
me,
announcing the first
I
tranche
think
of
that those
sanctions to
are
impose
good to
costs
go as
on
far
Russia
as
in
profit
response
taking.
to their
I'm actually going to
actions
close
yesterday.
my Nikola put
These
or
have
my
been
call
closely
as
coordinated with our
well
allies and
because
partners.
that one is
We will
green. I'm going
continue
to
to
take
escalate sanctions
profit
if
on the
Russia
green where I
escalates.
see it. I'm going to
We're
close out
implementing
the
full blocking
Snapchat.
sanctions
Uh,
on two large
I'll
Russian
keep the
financial
Snapchat call. I think it was
institutions,
cheap.
VEB and their military bank. We're implementing comprehensive sanctions on Russian sovereign debt.
Watch
That
Apple to
means we've cut
bounce,
off
maybe
Russia's
back up to
government
around
from
156.50.
Western
Could make a little
financing.
head
It
and
can no
shoulders
longer
here.
raise money from the West and cannot trade in its new debt on our markets or European markets either.
So he
Starting
just
tomorrow
he
and
doubled
continuing
down
the
on
days
the
ahead,
not being
we'll
able to
also
trade
impose
on our
sanctions on
markets.
Russia's elites and their family members. They share in the corrupt gains of the Kremlin policies and should share in the pain as well. Because of Russia's actions, we've worked with Germany to ensure Nord Stream 2 will not, as I promised, will not move forward. As Russia contemplates its next move, we have our next move prepared as well. Russia will pay an even steeper price if it continues its aggression, including additional sanctions. The United States will continue to provide defensive assistance to Ukraine in the meantime, and will continue to reinforce and reassure our NATO allies.
Biden's talking at 12:30.
Today, in response to Russia's admission that
Am I still in BABA? No. Why? I took profit on BABA. Do I want to short it again? Of course. Wow. Taking any swing plays? No. Not right now. I'm getting back into snap puts after profit this morning. Awesome. Would I re-enter Apple to the upside? No. This is a pretty if I'm looking at everything, right? I just happen to be I was just gifted with the choice of Apple this morning, the only one that didn't fill its gap. Beautiful. And at this point, off of that rejection and everything else having filled the gap, I'm looking for our next leg down. So, not up. We're faced off China and Korea. All right, it is officially 10:30. Where are we going? So, Apple's still not very bearish or bullish. It could still go up. I would say above 157, you could consider taking a gap fill trade. But I honestly, the only thing that is really catching my eye, because I think what I'm going to, and I said this earlier, I think I'm going to be on and off today because I'm basically just going to be setting alerts and looking for key breaks because I do think that we could just slowly fade. RSX is the uh, options that I'm watching is the VanEck Russian ETF. I'm thinking about grabbing like a March 4th $14 put, I think. But I don't want to let them chase a bag to the downside, so. Kelly J. Clark endorses psychedelic research for alcohol use. Oh, I thought it was like Kelly Clarkson. That's actual doctor. Like, what does that have to do with anything? AMD, what are you doing? How's AMD doing? Oh, nice 15-minute. Ooh, nice, bro. This one looks like it's building that rising wedge setup too. Exactly why you took it? Damn. It's almost like we see this shit. Yeah, that's beautiful. That was a nice one. I'd love to see that candle push 109. Except for you better give me my extra tea, man. I earned that. I had an identical twin. I had to take his tea. Just kidding. Nice rejection there. All right, so at the moment, the current positions that I have the Piton March 18th, $25 put, which is at 33%. I still have one Nikola put that I couldn't close. I still have a March 18th $33 put on Snap that I'm very happy to be holding right now, regardless of the fact that it's down. It's down 11%. Thinking about averaging up. I have, that's about it, actually. So I'm going to close out of these JMIAs because they didn't end up going anywhere. I didn't have enough time. And if there's anything, there's a lesson to be learned in the positions. I posted the positions that I was in this morning. Too much. I went a little bit too hard, regardless of my feelings about earnings or whatever. I went a little bit too hard on that one. So XPVE didn't quite fill its gap. And Apple didn't quite fill its gap. But at this point, guys, I'm probably just gonna hang on to what I got. Right now, I'm holding Snap March 18th, $33 puts, which again, I'd be happy to average up on. Oh, they caught the bears again. Hey, big step. I see a rising wedge on AMD here. Sean Paul. Yeah, I could take a look at Snap. Where did you post? You post on the gains page? Wow. Great play, man. Your DWAC put looks like mine. Wow, 194%. Open P. Wow. Great job. Microsoft, nice job, Matt. Nice. Let's see if Apple. Oh. I have a little bounce level at 108.85. Apple failed its retest. Microsoft wants to go up so bad it hurts. Gonna let the market marinate a little bit before I give any more exposure. Yeah, same here. Does a rising wedge usually break to the upside or down? Down, usually a rising wedge. So think about how a rising wedge sets up. You have a initial decent volume push to the upside, and then almost 50% or more sold off on the new high. And then from there, you'll usually make I don't know, maybe it depends on the stock, but you'll make a slightly new high, just a new high push, which will egg in new buyers, and then they will flush it again. And then right when they start buying puts, they will pop it up one more time, and they'll send it to just barely a new high. And then from there, they will finally take it down. So great. We have a great team here. Thank you guys. Oh, Jean Paul, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Putin does look like he needs a hug, like a big one. like from just like a soft, warm presence. Just calm down. Ooh. How is Meta Inc. today? I didn't look. How is market? Oh my god, it hit my PT. No way. Look at it, guys. I haven't touched Facebook. Go look at the channel. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Whee! Damn. 190, 189 PT hit. Oh my god, Stonk Destroyer. Delete that, dude. Please. Ew. Ew. Oh god, I hate monkeys. If you can't help yourself, just post lemurs. Apple. Nice. Guys, why is DWAC not falling more?
I was just debating.
I kind of want to average up on Piton though. And I need to see if they filled their entire gap. No, they didn't. So I think I will average up on Piton. And Snap, I think. Did you TP earlier? Yeah, that's right, you did.
Yeah.
I did. Good.
That's why it's like you're uniquely,
You're sitting on top of point of control, the body, which is 145.60. I think below you, you're gonna lose 144.65, and that's where you could see a new lay down. So, oh yo, personally, that 15-minute candle, I would want to push above 148.28 to reclaim some sense of bullishness. All right, so we have Snapchat March 18th. I'm going to go ahead and add a Snapchat $35 put. March 4th, $35 put. 1. Stop loss candle open above $37. Meta is the only thing that doesn't have or didn't fill the entirety of its gap.
Is Biden making this statement at 12:30?
Yes, he is. I'm actually probably going to hop off here and be back for that statement from Biden. And maybe hold off on what?
Just trade.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You might see lack of range breaking in that time. So.
Something about it, like response rate odds selling. It's interesting.
Yeah. Dude, there's this rumor going around. People are like, yeah, Biden is actually the guy who invented Bitcoin. Can you imagine? That'd been fucked. That'd have been the greatest invasion of all time.
Well, that's right.
D-Day on our bank accounts. Who?
Yeah, it's probably the U.S. government who created it.
Right.
Like a Fed action to control currency in other countries because U.S. dollars.
So everybody, when I'm in something like this where I have multiple positions, This is where I have to be prepared for a hedge if I want to hold. Um, for Snapchat, this is a awesome looking rejection. Could even be labeled as like a head and shoulders type energy where you have that hump head right there, and we get that technical gap fill, but it rejects that same mark. So if we lose, it's still the same levels. I want snap down to 36.21 before the end of the day. So down. What's going on with it?
Yeah, I know it's hard to tell. I had a level, I think, really control.
I say it loses 81.50 today, easy, and dumps. I'm giving it a $68 price target for the next month. That's my PT.
Next month, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like in the next month, I think DWAC will be down. You crush leaps, dude. You gotta start getting them leaps, man.
I know I should. It's, well, my account doesn't let me. But yeah, I mean, I'm trading on high spectrum, so I can do that. You know, I was thinking Myrna might. Let's see. Holding that 10-minute movement on the level 145.57.
Power station. In flames.
Didn't that one guy say that he just created Bitcoin?
Huh?
That crazy old guy.
Probably. Satoshi. Will I check on Tesla? Sure. Looks like everything else. Huh?
Yeah, I've been hard to work with 762.
Yeah, I have 776 as the high of day as well as the key level for Tesla to break, and I also have 747 to the downside as a for the target of 730.50. So Taiwan air defense zone also goes into China, so I will wait on news on this.
It kind of looks like names want to like pivot, going back. Everything just seems through the Bible. That's whatever.
Ukraine claims Russian
There
troops
is a lot
near
going on. We've just been
capital
hearing from the
Kyiv,
NATO chief Jens
downed
Stoltenberg.
3
We will hear from
Russian
other world
helicopters.
leaders throughout the day. Ukraine, just to recap some of the developments, claims that Russian troops are near the capital Kiev. 3 Russian helicopters have been downed, according to Ukraine. The Kremlin says that the Ukraine operation will last as long as necessary, and the Kremlin insists that the aim is the demilitarization, as it terms it, of Ukraine. And after months of speculation and calculations from other world powers, assessments and back-to-back diplomatic talks, Russia has begun that military action in Ukraine. The president of Russia delivered a speech announcing the start of what he called a special military operation to demilitarize and, in his words, denazify Ukraine.
Denazify. Interesting.
I should have grabbed that. Bird and fall off of that out there.
Circumstances require firm and immediate action from us. Donbass's People's Republic asked for help from Russia. In this regard, according to the Article 51, Part 7 of the United Nations Charter, with the consent of the Russian Federation Council and in accordance with the ratified agreement on 22nd February of this year on friendship and mutual aid with Donetsk People's Republic and Luhansk People's Republic, I decided to conduct a special military operation. Its goal is the protection of people who during 8 years suffered from abuse and genocide from the Kiev regime.
Mhm. All right, this is where I take a small hedge on Snap. Overall, still short on this, but I'm not going to sit and get whacked away. So it's going to be a hedge that I'm okay with losing money on, but it's just a small hedge. So for me, just in case things do end up cruising back up to the upside for some whatever odd reason, I'm going to go ahead and utilize a $39 call for Snapchat again. So because I am going to walk away. So XPVE going to go for its gap fill. Apple may actually go for the rest of that gap fill, guys. It's starting to push that 157 level. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. I've got the hedge on Snapchat in place. And I'm going to go ahead. I'll be right back. So if you guys have any questions, I'll be back before Biden rambles about some stuff. So. I'm almost green on the day. Zebo, I'd love to see what your trading days look like, man. You on Robinhood? Mm-hmm. Tesla 778.22 and 791.57. Obviously 783 too. Oh, nice. You pulled 10K out of there. Good job. Nice. Plunge made 80K yesterday. What? Nice. Good job. Damn. You guys remember those projections for SPY that I posted on the beginning of the week? We're already halfway there. Alrighty, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and those of you guys in the Discord, I will be back in just a little bit. With trend lines, do you follow the more recent higher highs and lows or the macro highs and lows? As in a swing here, which one do you follow? With trend lines, I mean, you're looking for a trend. So you're looking for the start of a trend, which is usually a bottom for your support. And then, pattern recognition, being able to find those key levels and find that, like, for example, on Snapchat right here, being able to see the support coming off of this level here, obviously giving us the bleed back down. But for me, for the most part, if you're looking at macro highs and lows, then you're just charting on a lower time frame, which is totally still relevant. But if you're looking at, higher time frame, lower highs or higher lows and lower highs, then same thing there. You're going to be starting from a high, pulling it down, looking for a lower high as the rejection point for a possible resistance. So RSX. All right, y'all. I think it's about to go ahead and head out. Possible Head and Shoulders format AMD. I just took a $14 put on RSX, but for March 4th, but I am not getting filled, so now I'm filled. Stupid. Snapchat call coming in handy. So we're starting to move to the upside. What an unusual move from this market. So for Apple, again, 157.13, watch for a 159 push. Alrighty, y'all. I'll be back on in a little bit. Peace. Those of you on YouTube and TikTok, I'll be on midday in the Discord. So, alrighty, y'all.